ask for a moment, like, how do you know that God loves you in a vacuum? How do you know? Because you're wealthy? Is that how you know? Because you're healthy right now? Is that how you know? Because your kids are okay? Is that how you, because you got the job that you've been waiting for? How do you know? And what Solomon is trying to, once again, and this is his message so often, he's trying to just inject a little humility in us. That we can't look at life in a vacuum. Oh man, my life's going great. God must really love me today. Oh, my life is going terribly. Today, God must be shaking his head no. He says, you don't know. You can't look at someone else's life. You can't look at your house and say, oh, clearly God approves. Oh, clearly God disapproves. If for no other reason, then all of us, no matter whether your life is up or down or all around, whatever that looks like, at the end, we all have a common destiny, which is death. There's no escaping the grave. See, we might not be able to look at our lives and know whether God loves us. Does he approve of us in this moment? You look at your life in a vacuum, it's hard to tell. But see, we have more information than Solomon did. Because what we know is that just the right time, when we were still lost in our brokenness, in our sin and our regret, as our souls were disintegrating, as we were enemies of God, like in that moment, Jesus chose to die for us. See, we know that. You want to know that God loves for you? Then look at Jesus. You want to know whether God approves of you? Look at Jesus. Because Jesus is the reason that he approves us. It's not because we're so great. It's because when Jesus saw us in our helpless state, he said, I love you so much, I'm going to take all of your regret, all of your sin, all of your shame, and he's going to take it to the cross, and he died for us, and he goes to the grave, but the grave can't hold him, death can't hold him, he comes back to life, and he blazes right through that red light of death, so that when we get there, we don't show up and say, look at everything we're bringing with us, isn't this awesome? We get there, it's the great equalizer, we got nothing to show, and he says, actually, you're with me, so death can't hold you either. And then he pulls us through. See, if you're here this morning and you don't know Jesus, I want you to know that your life matters because you were created by God. Like he loves you more than you can possibly imagine. He knows every hair on your head. He loves you better than you know yourself. Your life matters. You matter. Your loves matter. Your hates matter. Everything you do matters because he created you. He knows you. But if you don't know him, and if you don't give your life to him, at some point you're going to run into that red light of death. And that disconnection that you have with God, it will become permanent. And there will be no more love. There will be no more hope. There will be no more joy because all of those are sourced in him and you have cut yourself off. It is severed permanently. And see, that's what we call hell. Because I can't imagine a worse existence than to not have love and beauty and goodness in my life. But see, when you give your life to Jesus, then he comes into your life. He gives you his life. You are connected with him so that when you hit that red light, he says, oh, that's just a speed bump. Let's keep going. And you move from this life into eternity. So your life matters because God loves you. You matter so much to him that Jesus gave his life for you. The grave couldn't hold him, and it doesn't have to hold you either. If you're here this morning and you've never given your life to Jesus, and you're looking at your life and you're going, man, I've been trying to get as far ahead as I can. Maybe you just feel lost. But you know up ahead there's a red light. Up ahead there's an obstacle. When you get to that red light, what will you do? How will you know that God loves you? I'll tell you. Because Jesus gave his life for you. And when you give your life to him, he comes into your life. He gives you the life that you need. And if you want to step into that space with him, if you want to know that kind of life, if you want to have that kind of hope, that the red light of death doesn't have to be the end of your story, then you can do that this morning just by giving your life to Jesus. You can say, Jesus, I don't have anything that I can show for my life. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not wise enough. My money doesn't count for anything where I'm going. But Jesus, you gave your life for me. I know that I need you. And I'm going to give my life to you. You can pray that to him this morning. You don't have to understand everything that's been said. It's a lot. All you need to know is that you need Jesus. He'll understand.